Has this ever happened to you? Normal summon Aluber, no response. Aluber effect to add branded fusion. And then when you activate your win card, or your win con here, in this case, branded fusion, you just get hit by Ash Blossom, Joe Spring, Chain 1, branded fusion, Chain 2, Ash Blossom and Joe Spring, a tale as old as time, or mayhaps you open exactly Snake Eye Ash and nothing else. And then we go perhaps something like Bonfire, add Snake Eye Ash, no other cards, just a bunch of hand traps. And then we normal summon Snake Eye Ash here, Snake Eye Ash effect to add, probably Poplar in this case, into Ash Blossom Just Ring, and then you just have to pass back. Have you perhaps wondered, is there some way for me to perhaps deal with Ash Blossom and Joe Spring? Well, today I'm going to show you guys exactly how, because this has most definitely happened to me, just getting hit by an Ash Blossom Joy Spring. So, the first and most obvious options, we have Called by the Grave. Pretty simple. If we get ashed, we just called by it. Called by here targets a monster in our opponent's graveyard. Banish it, and if you do until the end of the next turn, its effects are negated as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of monsters with the same original name. So, this will just negate Ash Blossom Joe Spring and also be usable as an interruption against certain graveyard triggers and effects. So that's epic. And then we also have, of course, Crossout Designator. So pretty simple. We just cross out Ash Blossom because we should be playing Ash Blossom too. So we can banish an Ash Blossom from our deck, and then this will negate our opponent's Ash Blossom. And now into now we're getting into more niche territory. We have Prohibition. Activate by declaring one card name. Cards with that original name and their effects cannot be used. Cards already on the field are not affected, including face down cards. So Prohibition doesn't work on something like a Maxi, because Maxi can just simply be chained to Prohibition, declaring Maxi as you declare the card that you're going to be doing the second thing listed on the card. Uh, well, yeah. So this is you can treat this as a cost essentially. So we chain one prohib, and when we activate it, we declare the card name. So our opponent will know it is going to be Maxi. So no point in holding their Maxi if they have one. So not very effective there. Ash Blossom Joe Spring being a trigger means, let's say if we have, let's go with Branded Fusion again. If we have Branded Fusion in hand, and Prohib, if we Prohib declare Ash Blossom Joe Spring, Ash Blossom cannot be chained to Brand Fusion, but if we had like worries about Maxi, it wouldn't work out. So Prohibition, that is one option. So an option that kind of works, that depends, situational. But if we have Cypher Gear Gamma, in this case, it would also work if we specifically had Branded Fusion and not Aluber. So a little bit dicey on this, and kind of depends, but it is also possible to just bait out Maxi as well with this. So honestly, even if Maxi does resolve, I wouldn't mind it as much. So let's say we have this situation going on. So we have Branded Opening plus Gamma. If we activate Branded Opening and then we send or whatever, doesn't matter, attempt to send, our opponent probably won't Ash this because they'll be saving Ash Blossom for Branded Fusion. So in this case, we can chain Maxi instead of Ash, right? So then Gamma is chainable to the Maxi, and then if our opponent thinks the Maxi is really worth resolving, they might Ash the Gamma, and then in this case, we're kind of just vibing, I guess, right? Because now, even if our opponent gets some draws, it's fine. We still activate Branded Fusion, so That's a win in my book. No Ash for Branded Fusion. Very epic indeed. They do get, let's see, any draws? No. But they do turn off Gamma in this case, but if you're playing Branded, I guess you wouldn't care about Gamma resolving or not, because it's just going to end up dead in hand. And you can't really make anything with the extra deck using, like, Gamma, I don't think so. That is perfectly fine and dandy. Another option we have is to just simply set up a monster negate before whatever we want to care about is going to get ashed, right? So beyond that, there is also the option of baiting ash straight up with something that they feel must be ashed. So in this case, it could be like kind of Imseti, like Imseti kind of does the job. Like, you know, why would you not ash Imseti if I send like Driver? Uh, there is no world where someone doesn't ash that unless they're worried about Gamma, I guess, in which case, fair play. But if we just simply were to not use our normal summon, there is this option as well. If we play the adventure stuff, so if we have like Rite of Aramis here, we have our 2 copies of Water Enchantress, then we have Foolish Burial as well. Then we can Foolish Burial a Water Enchantress as well. If we didn't open Water Enchantress, we have essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that will be able to negate any potential Ash Blossom Joy Springs here, and we'll be able to go into our Wandering Griffin Rider if they don't have Ash Blossom Joy Spring. So pretty swell, aside from losing your normal summon effect. Like, you can still normal summon, but you just can't use the effect if you're activating Rite of Aramis in the same turn. And I guess in this case you do also get Draco back, which is somewhat useful, so yeah, you have that going for you. And then we can move into, I suppose, more psychopathic territory at this point. So if Ash Blossom Joy Spring is a problem, there are different uh, solutions, I suppose, for different problems. So just as an idea, if our opponent is dropping Ash Blossom Joy Spring on us, is there anything we can do to perhaps punish it? Well, I don't know. Now we're on the receiving end after of all of these texts. Now that we're playing Ash Blossom Joy Spring, what's a dumb way we can bypass some of these? So of course we can't bypass all of these, but if we want to bypass specifically called by, I guess what we can do instead is this idea is really dumb, but yeah, what about this? If we have Lullaby here, there is the idea of locking ourselves into like some kind of attribute. Like, let's say we are perhaps Earth locked, we can Lullaby to force our opponent to give us Ash Blossom Joy Spring. And if we do Ash Blossom Joy Spring now, well, typical counters for Ash Blossom will be like called by, cross out, and now the only out to it will be specifically cross out designator. The reason being, when we activate Ash Blossom Joy Spring, in this case, if we take it if our opponent has to give us Ash Blossom Joy Spring, it is not our Ash Blossom. So if we were to discard this for effect, this would just go into our opponent's graveyard, not making it possible to hit with a Called by the Grave. So a lot of dumb tech that you can utilize here. So I guess let's wrap it up with just one more way to deal with Ash Blossom Joy Spring. Well, alright. If we want to stop Ash Blossom Joy Spring from resolving, and generically at that, well, same kind of vein as Rite of Aramis here. Alright, hear me out. But what if we normal summon Quakemeru Guardian When a monster effect is activated, quick effect, you attribute this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. During your end phase, though, it will be destroyed unless you have a rock monster in your hand or a Quake Chimera, which is fine. So that's one way to do it. And real quick, I guess we should actually check something. It's not showing up here though. Hold up. Okay. And let's see. Negate the effects of light and dark monsters that activate during the main phase. So this actually deals with effect failure. I guess we can save that for another video, but yeah. Um, Quite a few dumb ways to deal with Ash Blossom Joe Spring. If you guys have uh, any other dumb ways to deal with Ash Blossom, feel free to share them in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.